Me a trade me sleep for dopamine. Stock win like sin in a slot machine. Me no trust chart, me trust caffeine. And the vice na me head I set by the dream. Put me rent pan a breakout game. Turn $20 to a big time name. Me a god in a discard full of fool. Sell trauma like technical rule. Green look good for me, even if me dead inside. Me rich but emotionally fried. Green look good for me, bags under me eye, but my potty eye, me a survive. Me talk in a candle, sleep in a tick. Me therapist say me addict to risk, but she a charge for every hour. Me a flip gain like me junk with power. Me ex say me hard for read. Me send her a chart straight S&P. 4 more ton 4 play, gal. Me move dumb but me flex like style. Green look good for me, even if me lose friend. Me still a roll Benz with passive end. Me burn out by 33, but me YOLO in peace, me finally free. Me the king of bad idea, crown from Robin Hood. Me turn therapy to market to rebound that good. Me reckless, me bless, me no need rest. 6-figure ego in a full vest. Sign. Me smile while me cross them line. Green look good for me. Call it luck or skill. Anyhow me pay the therapist bill.
Good morning, my little half rack of ribs, folks. Throw on your MILF shirt because we love cats in here. Folks, I've been already having myself quite a morning. I know many of you are probably waking up right now, kind of rubbing your eyes, getting yourself a cup of coffee, but in reality, your boy has a busy day. I know it doesn't look like it, but I'm a professional. I'm a business professional, and I have things to do certain days, and today happens to be one of those days. Granted, it's not as big as like a haircut day, so I don't want you guys to freak out and get your panties in a twist, but I have to do some things today, which means I had to get up early, and due to the fact that I had to get up early, you're going to have to suffer through it with me. Obviously, I'm a fat little pudgy Michelin man, so I've been trying to go to the gym a little bit more. And I didn't want to miss that, so I got up and went to the gym early today. And as always, I crushed the stair stepper. What I like about the stair stepper is not necessarily the cardiovascular benefits, the weight loss benefits, the mentality benefits. It's actually more of an ego thing that I'm physically above everyone else in the gym. I think that's really from like a deep psychological level what attracts me to being the world's #1 stair stepper is the fact that like I'm literally just above everyone else. So like physically I need to represent where I am like mentally, just like literally above everyone else. But the issue on this particular stair stepper adventure, and I just want to be honest and transparent with you because I know you guys come here and you're like, hey, that's a professional. That is the world's best stair stepper. That is voted the sexiest man in all of financial influencing. I get it. And I know sometimes with that, I guess, aura around me, like that superficial take, you guys probably assume I don't have any missteps. You guys probably assume that everything's perfect day in and day out. And I guess for the sake of transparency, I should let you guys know sometimes when it's not so perfect. Pull back the curtain, if you will, a little bit. And this morning, around flight number 90, 95, it was just below 100, but somewhere in there. I don't know. I think it's because I hit the stair stepper in the sauna too late last night. And then like just physically the amount of time that had passed until doing it this morning, my body wasn't well rested, and I did vomit a little bit on myself on the stair stepper. Not much. It wasn't some sort of like massive Roman purge ready to eat another meal, but there was definitely a little bit of vomit on my shorts by the time this session ended this morning. And I know it's embarrassing. I get it. But on the other point, I would say who else out there pushed themselves hard enough to stair step until they vomited on themselves? You know, I feel like in a certain way you could laugh at me, but in another way you could like kind of applaud me. Like it all just works itself out. And I think that's the mentality that we really need to bring into the trading session today. Are you going to be a little bit embarrassed if you vomit on yourself? Yeah, but what really matters is getting to that finish line. So I bet there's a message somewhere in there. I haven't really quite figured it out myself, like a deeper meaning to it. But yeah, I think you guys should find a deeper meaning in it. Maybe write a little bit of an essay, get it back to me, and obviously we can. Washed up? Your mom's washed up? That's so mean. Why would you say that? Are you trying to get me tilted? Are you trying to get me to crash out before we've even looked at charts? Dude, what 10 dimensions with a capital S at the very final S, trying to get me to crash out before we've even looked at one chart today. Offensive. Deeply offensive. I'm not going to fall for it. I'm not going to get bamboozled, hoodwinked. I am not falling for your tomfoolery this early in the morning. You're going to have to wait a little bit. Dow futures dropped 300 points after Trump unveils a 35% tariff on Canada. You know, I was sitting there last night going over some notes, getting ready for the stream today, doing everything, once again, the world's sexiest streamer, voted by all of you, would do on a normal, like, after show, pre-show prep. Like, I was in that in between Thursday night and a Friday morning, and all of a sudden, the phone started going off, getting alerts, pingity pong, 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 pong. And I was like, what's happening? And I looked down, NQ alert. And I was like, oh, fuck, yeah, hell yeah, we're breaking out. I like, hand to Allah, I really thought we were breaking out. I looked down at it, I was like, dude, we're going to be cooking with some tendies tomorrow. So I click on it. Visions of grandeur of like, oh, we're going to be breaking out. And like, I'm already counting the money in my head is my point. And then I look and I at first question myself, do I have my phone upside down? Because it seems to be going the wrong way. And then I remember that I don't have red-green color blindness, and that's actually a giant red bar. And the giant red bar was induced by Trump, who apparently does not want us to have any nice things. Like 35%, and I'll show you the letter, but this was right after market close yesterday. The market got goosed. Trump announces 35% tariffs on Canada starting August 1st, warns of higher levels if Ottawa retaliates. So this came out at 8:15. This is when things went haywire. Obviously talking to Carney right here, we will charge Canada a tariff of 35% on Canadian products sent to the U.S. This came out once again last night. If for any reason you decide to raise your tariffs, then whatever that number you choose to raise them by will be added to the 35% that we charge. And then he popped off about like the farmers and 400% and all that good jazz. So that's in a nutshell why things got a little bit crazy in the overnight session. But what I find uniquely concerning about this is, once again, we have another piece of information that someone is insider trading close to the administration. Is it Trump himself? I have no idea. Is it, I don't know, some random intern? I don't know who it is, but this is about the umpteenth piece of evidence we have that someone is continually front running the president's decisions. It is disgusting. Like I said, I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's I would never accuse the president. Might be him himself. I highly doubt it. might be a staffer, might be an intern, might be a Russian hacker who has access to his phone. I don't know who it is, but someone is trading before major things are announced. And I swear, in the past, ever since really February to now, I feel like this is like literally probably the 20th example. Nasdaq futures started aggressively selling off at 752, the green circle, top left. Trump announces tariffs on Canada, Europe, and the rest of the world at 8:06. Folks, that's 14 minutes before schedule. Nasdaq bottoms 4 minutes later at 8:10. Folks, like what? Someone's front running this stuff. The selling started before the announcement. It's crazy. Someone's doing something. I don't know who's doing it, but honestly, if you ask me, it's a bit disgusting. All right. Anyway, more of like an actual breakdown of what this does and doesn't mean, at least according to Bloomberg. Trump threatens 35% Canada tariff, floats higher global rate. That's the second part of this. That's a bit concerning. The higher global rate.
What do 35% tariffs then mean for the nation of Canada and its trade with the US?
Well, 35% tariffs, as Paul just mentioned, it doesn't actually, it's not going to be as impactful as it might seem initially on the headline when you read it, because the USMCA and goods traded through USMCA trade deal are actually exempt. In other words, the majority of trade between Canada and US, so think machinery, auto, and auto parts, all of that will be exempt from the higher 35% tariff.
Exempt.
It's also not that much higher than where we are already at the 25% level. So that's potentially why we're seeing markets not trading as much on this, even though the loonie obviously had some fluctuations earlier.
The loonie.
And it's also kind of remained.
Quick pause. If your country's main currency is called the loonie, you're not a real country. I would honestly have more respect if you operated in legitimate monopoly dollars than the fucking loonie. Seriously, were they sitting around one day when inventing their currency and someone's like, you know what? What if we had a currency that literally no one would respect ever? And some other guy's like, hot fucking damn, I'm in. Let's go to lunch. Like, were they ripping rails when they came up with that idea? Like some guy just, guys, let's call it the fucking loonie. And everyone's like, we're in. Like, what happened? Anyway, sorry, I digress. This is a professional show.
Needs to be seen, right? Like we've seen this game before where there's a tariff announcement, it gets moved back, especially for Canada, because Canada still needs to have this negotiation with the US and Mexico about updating the USMCA. So there's kind of an open question. Will this tariff go into place before then? Will it just be used as a negotiating tactic as they continue speaking? So it's not overall not as maybe big of a deal as first thought.
Katya, what is the state of play, meanwhile, for US trading partners that have yet to receive letters? Canada has received that letter. Now President Trump, there was an assumption that the baseline tariff would be 10%. Now President Trump is putting a question mark over that.
Yes.
Whoa. It's not just the loonie. They also have the toonie. There is no way that this was not created in an inebriated state. Like, if you ever needed a historic overlap between extreme cocaine use and massive political decisions, it was clearly the naming of the loonie and the toonie. Like, fucking dude. Hey, if you're from Canada and you're watching this show, it probably wasn't you. Maybe it was your great-great-grandfather or something. I don't know. I wasn't there, but I feel bad for you. You're not living in a real place. Like, that's just, you are adjacent to where things actually happen with serious people. You're in fucking la la land. Dude, like, literally you named your money after a cartoon show, Looney Tunes. And you're talking about Looney Toonie? Like, come on, dude, not real. Not real. At first, last night, I was a little bit upset because I saw the market hit. I even tweeted out, like, bro, can we take a break? Like, maybe we should just stop here. Just by, like, the fact that they have the balls to be our neighbors, 35%, dude, jack that up 10x. 300. If I were president, now understanding it with this piece of information, just the fact that they think at any point they're allowed to be a needle in our side, and it's this fake of a country, I'm completely on the opposite side. As of last night, I was like, nope, don't like it, not appropriate, it's hurting the market. As of this morning, I'm on the other side. Is it because I puked on my pants this morning? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. But what I can tell you is between last night and now, I'm on the opposite end of the universe. I think 35% is too low. I would go up to 350. And the fact that they even ever try to like talk to us, like this is offensive. This is like a soft one trying to talk to a hard 10 in a bar. Like sometimes you just need to know the fucking league you're in. And this is now, it's actually offensive.
It was a huge week in tariffs. I mean, even starting from Monday, we got the tariff letters on all of these economies that went up to the double digits. They were kind of mostly in line with what we saw on Liberation Day. And there's a few economies who are still in negotiation. So Japan and South Korea really actively trying to bring those levels down and try to avoid getting those tariffs in place before August 1st. But the 20% level is interesting strategy because it would effectively double what markets and economists had expected from President Trump on the universal level, and basically doubling the economic damage. And then the question becomes, well, is this just sort of a tactic from President Trump, who, as Paul just mentioned, he monitors the markets. The markets aren't moving too much. It will just embolden him to take further steps and raise tariffs further until those markets start reacting, at which point he dials it back. And the answer right now, at least for today, we're not sure. But, I mean, we can expect next week to be full of more surprises as well.
What is this? We're just going to say all the remaining countries are going to pay, whether it's 20 to 15. We'll work that out now.
So next week, Kathy,
is this just going to become a taco
what
trade?
What are you and the team going to be watching for?
Trump always chickens out.
As the tariff story unfolds towards what is now apparently the new deadline of August the 1st.
Well, there's going to be a lot of action in terms of scrambling for further talks. We have Scott Bessent and Lutnick in Japan next week, for example. We're also going to get a lot of economic data that's going to really underscore what's at risk here for economies. So Japan and China, we're getting just a slew of data from across the economy, from the unemployment rate to inflation, labor market dynamics, and GDP, of course, in China's case. And it's going to show what's at risk. It's going to show how exports continue to really stay weak on the back of tariffs, and not just tariffs, but uncertainty. It might show that investment and industrial production is likely weakening on the back of the uncertainty as well. We're seeing price pressures. So already companies across Asia are paying for the tariffs in a way because they're negotiating with the U.S. and their U.S. companies that they supply, and they're going to have to knock down those prices further likely. So we're going to see a lot of that in the trade data next week, starting from Monday.
So basically this week, somewhat big in terms of announcements. Next week, even bigger, because not only do we have announcements, but we're going to have a whole slew of macroeconomic reports as well. As they a little bit alluded to, Vietnam, surprised by Trump tariff decision, seeks lower rate. Vietnam caught a little bit off guard, uniquely hitting companies such as Lululemon, Nike, Gap. A lot of these footwear and apparel companies are using Vietnam as their suppliers. So obviously those stocks, as soon as this was announced, got hit. So another piece of news, paying attention to it, but obviously Canada and more of the global impact really taking center stage. Completely different note. Rubio says a Xi-Trump summit likely after meeting China envoy. Doesn't happen that often, but we actually might have a little sit-down chitty chat between the president of the U.S. and the president of China. President Donald Trump and Chinese leader Xi Jinping is likely after having its first face-to-face meeting with his Chinese counterpart in Malaysia. So this could become big news. It might become a nothing burger. I just wanted to put it on everyone's radar just so it doesn't take anyone by surprise. White House accuses Powell of mismanaging Federal Reserve, citing headquarters renovation. When it rains, it pours. If Trump is going to cause a little bit of chaos in terms of what in the world is going on with tariffs, you might as well add in Russia. You might as well add in the Fed. You might as well add in not giving us the Epstein list. Like I said, folks, when it rains, it pours. What's fun about a little bit of chaos is adding a lot of bit of chaos. President Donald Trump budget chief says that the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell has grossly mismanaged the Fed. Objectively not true. Office of Management and Budget Director Russell Vaught has suggested Powell has misled Congress about a pricing renovation to the central bank's headquarters. Vaught's broadside opens up a new front that the Trump administration wore on the Fed chief. Obviously, I know if you're a hardcore Trump supporter, you're going to listen to him and you're just going to arbitrarily not like Jerome Powell. I get that. You should also know, by any objective measure, he has not really taken any missteps. Based on all the current information, and really the way you know this is that they have not had a dissenting vote yet. So when it comes to these decisions, Powell does not get to make these decisions by himself. Obviously, he's the chairman of the Fed, so he has quite a bit of influence. But you should know that for the past how many ever multiple years, we're talking about a high double-digit amount of FOMC meetings, there has not been a dissenting vote. As in, all of these people coming from all their areas with all their backgrounds, they've all come down to the same conclusion for every single FOMC meeting. So you might think, sitting here watching this show, that you somehow know more than all these literal PhD economists with a massive breadth of knowledge. And maybe you do. Maybe you're some sort of secret savant that understands the economy better than these people. And maybe it's true. But I would also say that it is very low likelihood. A very, very, very low likelihood that your interpretation of the economy is somehow better than people who have been trained to do this for decades. They're all coming from different areas. New York Fed president, San Francisco Fed president, Atlanta Fed president. They all have completely different regions, completely different backgrounds, and yet they're all coming to the same conclusion for every FOMC meeting for multiple years. Like, I'm talking all the way back to even when Trump was his first time in office. I get it. Like, if you're spun up about it, you're only spun up because of what you're hearing from Trump. You're not in any way spun up. I would bet any amount of money that you're not spun up from any of your own research on monetary policy and the appropriate thing to do. You've probably citing certain things like, oh, but Europe already cut theirs. Well, this might fucking catch you guys by surprise, but Europe's economy is not our economy. Their dollar, their euro, their loony, their toonie doesn't run the show. The US dollar does. Their economy, their show isn't the biggest show in town. The US economy is. Their military isn't the biggest. Ours are. We're the global protector. There are so many other things to consider, even certain things such as energy and their proximity to what's going on in Russia and Ukraine, and the fact that we sit on a global supply of oil ourselves. Like, it's just geographically, there's so many different things going on. So if you are so simple-minded to be like, but Europe already did something, but Europe, they cut theirs. They did. That's like factually accurate. But then you're basically saying the U.S. and Europe are equivalent, and across the entire board, we are not equivalent whatsoever. Is the Fed perfect? Absolutely not. No one, once again, studying monetary policy history, would ever say that the Fed is a perfect being, a perfect organism, and has made a perfect decision at every single moment in time. I would never ever say that, but this concept of Trump's particular war against Powell, honestly, there's legitimate arguments that if we got the 300 bips rate cut right now, that it would actually cause more havoc than actually good. So honestly, on that particular note of we want a 3% rate cut, definitely be careful what you wish for. Very quickly, if you haven't already, sign up for the newsletter, macquarie.locals.com. It comes to your email inbox every single Sunday. I break down what's going on in the market. If we're in earnings season, I give you all the major earnings. I always give you the major macroeconomic events. Today, there's going to be some stuff coming out at 10 a.m. Not the biggest stuff, but once again, 10 a.m., you might want to be paying attention. And then with respect to seasonality, over the past 27 years worth of data, the bulls have won this day 74% of the time. Here's a look at the hypothetical equity curve you would have. Higher highs, higher lows. Recently, a little bit of a mini bearish trend, but obviously taking in aggregate, the whole thing is obviously dominated by the bulls. Also, you're going to notice that when you sign up for locals, today we are doing Payday Friday giveaway. It's pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video. They are running a crazy deal, and this is the final day to get it. You are not reading this wrong. 90% off their 10K plans. So if you look at the plans and you want to trade options, you could look at their 10,000 plan options, 10K. If you apply that code Goonie, you're going to get 90% off. As in, this will cost you $10. This is beyond dirt cheap. Dirt has some value, especially, I don't know, if you're trying to plant trees or gardens or something. This is comically cheap. The deal is going to be running. Today is the day. You can get rocking with it. If you want to buy multiple, do whatever you want. But I'm just letting you know, the 10K account, a fat 90% discount. You can get these accounts for $10. Like I said, pinned to the top of chat, in the description of the video. They are the partner of today's Payday Friday giveaway. Depending on what's going on in the market, we'll do it around roughly 10:30. It's going to be a 1v1v1v1v1 marble race. Winner takes all, $150, cold hard cash. Prison rules, there are no rules. And then also on top of that, the 3 people selected from locals will also be getting one of the Vanquish accounts. So we're going to pick someone off of YouTube, we're going to pick someone off of Rumble, and we're going to pick 3 people off of locals. The locals people will all get a free Vanquish account, but on top of that, folks, you guys are going to be able to get them for dirt cheap today. Dirt cheap today. Use that code Goonie, Goonie, to save 90% on the 10K plans. Like I said, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. Obviously, we're going to be trading on those accounts today, and then also we're going to have some fun with that marble racing. All right, right now in pre-market trading, due to the craziness of the Canadian announcement, the Canadian tariff, we are below yesterday's low. Don't like that, but obviously, as long as SPX is holding, and here's where we're at right now, we're at 6,245. As long as we hold 6,200, I'll still feel comfortable. Obviously, I'd prefer if we were up at 6,300, but my point is, and I put this in the Discord earlier today, wouldn't be that insane. We are scheduled to open up pretty much right here, the bottom of the transition zone. Wouldn't be that insane for us to get pushed back up into the transition zone. We grind it and then we battle it out at yesterday's closing value, and then we actually tag a new all-time high. I'm by no means saying this is the highest odds situation for this to play out today, but it's definitely in the cards. I'm not even saying it's really that close to zero. Like, this is something we should legitimately consider, is that the market pushes up, takes out yesterday's low value, we hold there for a second, and then due to the gamma and delta influences and maybe a little bit of just like Vanna decay, really, we get sucked right back up into testing this red to green move. So I'm still bullish, because the overall situation is, if you're bearish, you're just stupid, you're blind. If you are being bearish right now on a medium term time frame, what the fuck are you doing? We literally hit a record high and you're like, nope, this is the time that we're going to revert. Folks, the odds of the market tells us that when we hit new highs, the odds always favor the bulls. They don't favor the bears. Of course, at some point you take a bit of a pullback, but in terms of just betting odds, if you're trying to be bearish at an all-time high, you should get a lobotomy and stop trading. That's what the odds of the market tell us. So I know we have some room to go today, but I strongly believe, and obviously the empirical data highly suggests, that the bulls are in control. You know what's really bullish right now? Old bitty Bitcoin hitting an all-time high of 100 and almost 19,000, 118.9. You know what? I'm going to set up an alert just in case we take that out today and hit a brand new high. But I am uniquely stoked about this. Uniquely stoked. So obviously we had a little bit of this bull channel. We broke out, a little bit lethargic, took a week and a half, and then all of a sudden the party started pippity popping. New all-time high of 100 and almost 19,000. I would love that follow through to 125, just a nice key psychological level. Obviously, I am invested in Bitcoin. I have multiple Bitcoin. I just put it on my cold wallet and it's just sitting there. But in the short term, I'm also playing BITX, which is 2x a leveraged ETF. I have a lot of calls on that. It ended pretty yesterday. Right here, just to show you what we're doing in the Discord, or at least what I'm doing in the Discord. BITX, this is a 2x leverage ETF on Bitcoin. Yesterday ended nice. I was up 55%, up almost 9K. At one height yesterday, I think I saw about 12,000, so it pulled back just a little around 3. but I'm very excited to see where this opens up. I have a sneaky suspicion back of the napkin math that this should open up right around like 20-ish K, ideally fingers crossed above 20K. It depends on where we're at with implied volatility at open, but feeling real good at this. So when I make those videos about whatever, Bitcoin popping off, there's more room to run, I just need you guys to know I'm putting my money where my mouth is. Like, clearly, I put how much? I put $16,000 on the line for this play. Currently worth 24, net gain of 8.7, and I have a feeling right at open in about 3 seconds, this should open up and look pretty. Dingity ding ding ding. The world's largest casino is now open. Holy fuck. No, I guess the back of the napkin math was wrong. I thought 20. I didn't think it was going to be 34. Dude, sometimes I just wonder, is trading too easy? 37 and climbing. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. Like, it's just, do you guys ever wonder if trading is too easy? Like, seriously, sometimes I just sit there and I'm like, should this even be legal? Like, I can read the puzzle of the market better than most people could read a book. It's just too easy. Fucking 36 racks from just sitting here bullshitting with you guys? Dude, easy. This is how it must feel for Stephen Curry to shoot a three-pointer. No defense, just in practice, just comically easy. So comically easy. Dude, I call it how I see it. I'm just making them bands. No trading is insane to me. Well, that's upsetting to be you. Matt, you can't read. Well, I can't really necessarily, I can't disagree with that. I'm not saying reading is my strong suit, but you guys understand the sentiment of what I'm saying. Like, you guys get the metaphor that I'm rocking with. Dude, BITX up 7%. Fucking making bands. Too easy. Too easy. Hey, NVIDIA, NVIDIA's getting a little bit of a pop this morning. Oh, just to show you guys, I have not traded today. I was, in fact, a good boy. And look at right here, didn't touch my Tradeify account, didn't touch my Apex accounts, didn't touch my Take Profit accounts. So just waiting for ideally those opportunities to strike. Hopefully they do, but I'm going to do my best. Right now, Skynet is odd, so Skynet might catch something a little bit early today. Other than that, with respect to my manual trades, I am going to do my best to be calm, cool, collected, to not do anything too silly. But in reality, I'm just waiting this out. The SPY is battling it out at the low value from yesterday. The Qs are above the low value. NVIDIA is getting a pop. Bitcoin not holding 118, but this might just be a little bit of open market shenanigans, like that type of stuff. It's okay. We're going to figure it out. As a team, we're going to figure it out. Actually, as a team effort, here's my question of the day to you guys. Here's where we are. Yesterday, SPX, the overall market, the barometer of what's going on in the world of equities, closed at 6,280. As you can see right now, we're at 6,250. Key technical level, psychological level, it's roughly the low. It's a huge open interest level. This is a very important zone. It's the bottom of the transition zone. My question to all of you, and my financial health is in your hands, do you think that we're going to actually pop off of this and go all the way back up to 75 and do that red to green test? Do you think we're going to get that opening to close gap fill? Or do you actually think that, nope, people are going to take their profits, go into the weekend, and if the bulls have a chance, it's coming next week? Basically, I'm asking you, from this moment at 6248, are you bullish and you think we're going up to 75 and 80, or are you bearish and you think that we're actually not going to hold this open interest level and we puke to somewhere between 25 and 30? Bullish or bearish? Where are you guys at? What's the aggregate of everyone watching? Like, what are you guys really thinking where we're going to do? I can tell you we're at VWAP over here. Here's a little looky-see. Why is this not? Well, that's not necessarily what I wanted. Let me zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out. All right, this is a book map. Yeah, morning pop. You can see we ran right into some of this passive sell side liquidity at 22955. right there, just all that dark coloring. That's a lot of sitting, and then really, so it was buying right out of the gate, like the first whatever half minute. And then we took out some of the sell side liquidity, and then there was just too much, and you can see we got hit. We retested it a second time, got hit again. We might be putting in a bit of a higher low, but let's see what this follow through either is or it isn't. I'm just telling you, like, for this to really get going anywhere, it's going to have to take out all these sitting sell orders. That's quite a bit of profit taking up there. Once again, sitting sell orders, limit sell. Those are the dark colors above, and then the colorized stuff, the heat map below, those are the sitting buy orders. So really, targets for the bulls, targets for the bears. Once again, targets for the bulls top side, target for the bears the bottom side. Looks like the bears are currently targeting 905, and then we're even actually seeing right now a little bit more sell side come in here at 40. At first it was just 50. Well, you can see it's developing at that exact moment that you start to see it. So pretty much all morning they were getting out, they held tough, and now they're actually lowering their orders. So these bulls are actually saying, hey, we're a little bit weak and we're willing to get out even earlier. Obviously, I think this goes without saying, but you have some people targeting 905 and 900. So you have some buy side liquidity down right here, pretty much where we were at right before the market opened. It's also this yellow line, which is the point of control. And then the white line over here above my head is VWAP, the volume weighted average price. So we're pretty much neutral. Based on what we've seen from the overnight session till now. I do see SPX taking a little bit larger of a hit than I would like, but Bitcoin's still going. BITX is still going. Your boy's still making a shitload of money. So, dude, not a bad day when you make 27K in one day. Ask anyone in the Discord. This was all called out in real time when I got it on July 2nd. 9 days worth of work. It is July 11th. I got into this on July 2nd. 9 days worth of work to make $35,000. If that doesn't get you into the Discord, especially when the first month is free anyway, I just question if you even want to be a trader. I question if you even want to be a trader. Okay, what time are we at? 35. I'm curious. Here's a look at the options flow thus far today. Here's the trace tool. We have positive gamma at 6250, positive gamma at 6,300. Just memorize those. Right now we have a bit of profit taking, I guess, or probably profit taking, I would assume. No, actually more so puts being bought. The calls are kind of flat. Interesting. Looking at the Mag 7, what is it? Is it actual bears? No, that's more profit taking. So we're actually seeing some bears enter the game on the S&P 500, while on the Mag 7, arguably, it's a little bit more of profit taking than anything else. With respect to momentum, Meta, I got some alert on Meta. What was that alert? Meta actually putting in a lower high, now potentially breaking down. Meta in the short term is going to have an issue if it goes below 712. At that point, I'd be looking for a return to roughly 680 and then ideally bounce off of that. But definitely a lower high right now on Meta. Tesla actually upside gap fill to about 313. It's getting kind of close to that. Avago, all-time high yesterday, giving a bit of it back today. Palantir continuing to grind back up to its all-time high. NVIDIA, fresh all-time high. Congrats to everyone running NVIDIA. MicroStrategy ripping it, obviously, with Bitcoin technical breakout. Next technical level is basically 445. Coin is just, it's Viagra on meth. It just keeps giving, man. Like, coin is just, literally in April, it was at 140. It's now almost at 400. That's disgusting. That's something, folks. Oh, whoa. All right, market's taking a little bit of a hit here. So the SPY at first losing the battle at yesterday's low. The Q is right now testing yesterday's low. Actually, I don't need that right now. NVIDIA, the new all-time high is the intraday high. BITX is what I'm using to watch Bitcoin, currently trading at 117. Brother? Things are getting a little spicy over here. They're getting a little spicy over here. That's quite a bit of selling ever since 30 seconds into the day. Remember, the heat map is going to be more of your like passive, like sitting buy orders, sitting sell orders. The bubbles are aggressives. Obviously, the green is aggressive buying, and then the red is aggressive selling. So I could tell you that we've had aggressive selling pretty much since 34 seconds into the day. Very minimal aggressive buying, and it looks like the passive buying will start closer to 22,860. So I don't know if I personally, and hey, I'm not your mom, do whatever you want with your money. But if I were looking to buy this dip, I wouldn't be buying this dip to 860. That's where I would hit. Oh, shoot. Hang on. Skynet took a trade. Skynet went short at 92, and it's targeting 87. Dude, Skynet don't miss. Skynet. Dude, how, like, when is it a bad day to be me? Right there. I have 27 accounts, so that just made about 2.7K, maybe 3K, a little bit of a rounding error. So already locked in 3K, I think. Why does it still show a position? Mom? Mom? Is there a data issue here? Okay, good. I mean, it's showing that they're closed out here, but it was showing it on the screen for a second, so I got a little freaked out. Sorry. Sometimes I get a little amped up, folks. Anyway, that was an easy 3K locked in. And then obviously, I'm still just murdering it here. $35,000, dude. What a day. What a day. It's a Friday. It's a good payday Friday. Anyway, for those of you wondering where this dip might or might not, I would be playing close. I mean, like I said, dude, as much as I wish I were all of your moms, I'm not your mom. I can only be like max. I could handle like 12 kids, not even, maybe 8. I don't know. But my point is that there's more than 8 to 12 of you in here. I can't be all of your moms, even though I wish I could. I would love all those Mother's Day cards. It's just functionally, there's not enough time in the day. So I'm not your mom. I can't make you do what you should be doing. But if you're trying to buy this dip, you got to at least wait and see how this liquidity zone plays out at 60. You have to. Like, stepmom, dude, Michael, I'll be your stepmom. Wicker love. Wicker. Isn't that like a witch? Like you love a witch? Harry stepmom. Yeah, I'm not trying to hide it. I'm a hairy person. I'm just lucky that I'm not as hairy as my father. Dude, that guy is a fucking wildebeest. I feel like I have hair where it counts. Could my beard be stronger? Yes. Do I have a lot of chest hair? Yeah, but I think it's at that level where, like, if we have like an 80s nostalgic throwback from like a sexuality standpoint, I feel like I have the perfect amount of chest hair, but yet I balance it out by having no back hair. You don't find many guys who can pull that off. Like there's just not many specimens in this planet who have strong chest hair and no back hair. And for any of you who have seen my naked back, you would admit that I have no back hair. Let's see how it reacts to this level. I'm looking for 60. I'm looking for 60. Come on. We're getting close. We're getting close. Let's see if this is where the buyers want to step back in. I'm that man. Johnny, you're what man? You're the opposite? You only have hair on your back, none on your chest? Matt, can you do TA on XRP? That's equivalent of doing TA on Looney Toonies. Like, it's just like, would you ever really waste your time doing TA on fucking Monopoly money? No, you wouldn't, because it's all Fugazi. It's all made up. It's all made up. Dude, 60. That's looking like a snack. That's looking like Ana de Armas. I'm telling you, folks. That's looking like Scotty from Suits. Oh, this is really important to me as your favorite content creator. Do you think Ana de Armas or Scotty from Suits is more attractive? Scotty's the brunette in Suits. This is really, really important to me. And I would be lying if I said I didn't lose hours of sleep trying to figure this one out. And I can't. It feels like an you know how like there's those millennial problems of all these mathematicians trying to solve some of the hardest problems in the world of like, does P equal MP? And it has a massive impact on like security and really our like way of life in general. I think another problem should be Scotty on Suits versus Ana de Armas. I'm not talking about Donna, even though Donna is a gorgeous woman. Anna is smoking hot. Yeah. Have you seen Scotty from Suits? All right. Like, I think this is one of the hardest questions known to man. Like, I really do. Ooh, hang on. Ana de... All right, so this is Ana de Armas. She's an actress, very popular. This is what she looks like. Very, very attractive. Scotty Suits. I think her name is Abigail Spencer. This is Scotty from Suits. So we have this lady. What's like a fair comparison? You have this lady and you have this lady. And then you have this problem set. The Millennium Prize problems are 7 unsolved mathematical problems selected by the Clay Mathematics Institute in 2000. Solving any one of these problems carries a $1 million prize. One of the 7 was solved. The other 6 are like ripping it. The remaining 6 are the Riemann hypothesis. P versus MP is like a very, very big problem in the world. And I think we should add a whole nother problem into the Millennium Prize. Like, it's just who wins. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm here saying what everyone's too afraid to say. You like it mid? Dude, what? Mid? Dude, let me pay for your next eye appointment because you need it. Mid? Fucking mid? Dude, I feel so bad for your life. You must be, what is it like not being able to see anything? You can't drive, you can't go to the movies, you can't read a book, you can't watch TV. Like, what, like, I feel so bad for you for being so incredibly blind. So incredibly, like, what's it, like, you're more blind than Stevie Wonder's. Like, that's insane. Like, actually, like, dude, are you watching this stream from an insane asylum? Like, you're literally just disagreeing with the laws of nature at this point. Like, just generically, you might as well just be like, hey, gravity is not real. You know? Yeah, you just don't believe in the sun anymore. Yeah, like you're just a loco crazy person. Someone said Meghan Markle. No. But honestly, that might just be because of her recent antics. So maybe I'm being unfair on that one. But it is a good call out to Suits. LOL, Matt can't read. Proven again. I never said I could read. Name me one point of this show where I have a disclaimer saying Matt can read. It doesn't exist, folks. But gravity isn't real. Touche. Why? Oh, why? Position? No, I wanted more of those. What do I have? The 50s. I needed 4 of those. Market, confirm and send, create order. We're ripping it on a little bit of vanquish. 1090. Sell at 1190. 1190. Confirm and send. All right, we're ripping it. I hope I did it on all of those. I hope I did it on all of those. Where are my sitting orders? I just bought some calls on SPX, just taking a stab at it, seeing if this is the bottom right here. If we had about 15 minutes worth of panic, taking a rip. The old rip. Looks like my average fill was at 1090. I have 5 of them. I'm trying to dump them at 1190. Speaking of that, Skynet ripping it for the second time today, but unfortunately did not get the fill on the first push. Come on. Come on, Tonto. Come on, Tonto. This is for America, America, America. This is for America. Looney Tooney. Bada bing, bada boom. 227 accounts, almost 250. So about 5K. I'm going to take it. A nice 5K. We've worked for about 20 minutes. No one cares about Skynet. Trex, the scary thing for you is that when I talk to Skynet, it only talks about you. Whenever I'm talking to my advanced AI system, Skynet, day in and day out, it just asks about you. It's just like, yo, how's Trex? Like, what's up with Trex? It's always trying to look up your information and whatnot. This trade's still live. Like I said, I'm trying to get out at 1190. Oh, wait. It gave me a fill on one of them. Oh, wait. Did my order? Oops. Close with single order. Wait, I thought, where do you see your sitting orders? Accounts and orders. Orders. Yeah, I only did one for some stupid reason. All right, let's fix that. Close with a single order. All right. Well, at this point, we might as well go for more. I think I did it right now. Yeah. We're trying to dump for, I got out of one of them. All right. Realize it locked in 160, but we have some going on that one. That's my bad. That's operator error. That's an ID10T, an old idiot error. That's mine. I'm going to take the blame on that one. I got you, boys. I'm not going to blame you. I think if it were me yesterday, I would have blamed you guys, but not today. Do you ever trade REEK future accounts? What the fuck is REEK futures accounts? REEK? What a horrible name. No, I feel like I wouldn't trade that. REEK? It's not even coming up. REEK futures. That's an awful name for a futures account. Oh, horrible. REEK futures. They need better branding. What's going on with QTTB? I don't know, John. You tell me. What is going on with QTBBB? You tell me. Options flow. Mag 7 catching a burner at 9:45, and SPY also, everything pivoted at roughly 9:45. Everything sold. I think we're looking for that Nike swoosh at this point. We're going for the old Nike swoosh. We got the first point of the Nike. Now we're looking for the second. First part of the Nike. Now we're looking for the second. Looking at the big players. Ooh, they sold out of the gate. So this is why we got hit the first 15 minutes. You can see in the top right of your screen, the big boys, the big guns were net sellers. So that doesn't give me the best vibes as of now, but I want to see the SPY battle it back out on at the low value. Bitcoin's looking good. The Q's bouncing right off their low value, so pretty freaking stoked about that. But I do admit, I like that the Mag 7's at a new delta high. The SPY has distance to go. Then okay, so the two things that are upsetting me right now in terms of recovery is the delta hasn't popped that much on the SPY and the Nasdaq. This might just be a reversionary pop and we could still easily sell off. But what I find more concerning is that the big boys are still selling. top right of your screen, this is the cumulative delta. They are dropping it across the entire market, the New York Stock Exchange. Not the see yesterday how they were buying. Not vibing right now. These are not the vibes I necessarily want. Not vibing. Seth is saying Meta's getting clocked. That's a legit technical breakdown. That's not good on Meta. Tesla, I would love it above 310. Avago hitting an all-time high yesterday. Palantir trying to fight back up. Nvidia, once again, a new all-time high. MicroStrategy, technical breakout. Next one is at 445. Coin ripping it. Bitcoin hanging out at, just took a hit, didn't it? Okay, it's trying to get a 1 minute breakout here, but both the SPY and the Qs are stalling out, trying to decide what they want to go. Are we putting in a lower high and we're about to peak from here and take out these lows? Or is this just a higher low and we actually build a nice foundation off of this? Time will tell, but I can tell you that we are at a key level. We have the low value at 6251. We have the bottom of the gamma delta transition zone at 6250. We have an important open interest level between 45 and 50. This 6-point region is massively important. From 45 to 51, big, decisive decision-making area. Who's going to win it? I don't know. Your guess is good as mine, dude. I'm not a fucking doctor. I don't know. I don't know who's going to win this fight. You think I'm some sort of military strategist? XRP is flying. Hey, if you're in XRP, I want you to make money. I don't want anyone to lose money. But I also ask you, what is your bullish thesis on XRP? Most people, when I ask them their thesis on XRP, they just ramble off and say stupid shit. Like, just be honest. Just say, dude, it's a fucking meme play, and I think the meme's gonna pop. I would respect that argument better than it's gonna just. Did you hear about what's going on in Japan? Currency conversion and like it just. Dude, just admit it. It's a meme coin. Meme coins can go up. You can make a lot of money on meme coins if you play it properly. But to try to cosplay as like a real fundamental investment. No, it's just like open your brain. Hey, did this get a fill? Bada bing, bada boom. It surely did. Bada bing, bada boom. Remember, Vanquish right now, 10K accounts, you can get a fat 90% discount. As in, if you put in code GOONIE, GOONIE, it'll only cost you $10. $10. That is dirt cheap. Dirt cheap. Oh, here we go. Matt, XRP is the auto bridge token for the network. All the transactions through RL, USD, and other RWA assets need to use XRP. And with the EVM sidechain, XRP will be locked into smart contracts now. Okay, sick. And BitBoy is why I love XRP. You mean that this is the guy who on July 10th, this guy. That's, hang on. I want to make sure we understand your investment thesis. This guy, and I want to clarify once again, this guy, and hang on, just to drive it home. Okay. July 9th this year. That's who you're learning from. Okay. Maybe I'm the crazy one for thinking this, but I think maybe the opposite might be the right decision. That is honestly the look of who I get my financial advice from. Folks, come on. I know you're trying to get me to crash out today by saying insane shit. And I get it. I appreciate it. I appreciate the effort. But you're not going to get me to crash out today. $500 locked in on options. $5,000 locked in on futures, and I have runners the size of my nutsack right here. 40K. You're not going to get me to crash out. You could do whatever you want. You could do whatever you want. But at the end of the day, your boy has the lowest swing in sack right now. And that's a good thing, to clarify for the children in the audience. Like, I don't know. Like, you're not going to get me to do it, man. I'm top dog. It's performances such as this that explain to you why Warren Buffett retired. The guy couldn't handle the heat in the kitchen. I'm fucking going full on Aunt Jemima mode. And the guy had to retire. Like, I literally ran him out of the game because that old guy, that old loony toony, couldn't handle what Aunt Jemima was cooking up. And I swear to God, if you guys call that appropriation, you're full of shit. You guys know Aunt Jemima and I go way back. You guys know Aunt Jemima and I are like, we're tight. We're boys. So she said I could cook with her. We cook it up together. Focus, for fuck's sake. Focus? You think it's unfocused of what I'm doing right now? You think I'm dude, hang on. Let's see how focused old Mateo is right here. Let's see how focused. 38K, 20K, 20K. Yeah, no, don't worry about my focus levels. I would say these gains are pretty much spot on. Must be dragging because I've been commando for years. He's due for retirement, kiddo. That's what he wants to say. He blames it on his age, which is funny because that means people believe in the linear concept of time. Don't get me started on that one. But like, yeah, no, I'm fucking 90 years old. I've had a good run, dude. He's scared. He's scared. You're trying to tell me it's a coincidence that Warren Buffett retires as soon as I hit my stride? Dude, I get it. You're gargling his balls. You're team Buffett because you might have heard about, I don't know why, and you're buying into this conspiracy that he's retiring because of his age. Oh, yeah. It did just perfectly align with me absolutely murdering the stock market and embarrassing him. I guarantee you're the same kind of person who believes the Epstein list doesn't exist. Like, you're the same person. Absolutely 100%, no doubt in my mind. The people in here who think Warren Buffett retired due to his alleged old age are the same people who, hang on, we're getting some sort of breakout. Okay, we're actually taking out a pre-market high. We just tagged it. The ES has a bit of distance to go, though. Okay, so the NASDAQ is kind of, unlike yesterday when the NASDAQ sucked, the NASDAQ's actually doing better today. But anyway, what was I saying? Warren Buffett, more like worried Buffett. But yeah, anyway, they're the same people. Boo-hoo, he's 90 years old. He deserves a break. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've heard that before. I heard it in the same sentence that no one was on Epstein's list and he just apparently unalived himself because he was innocent and he was accused of a heinous crime that he didn't commit, and he felt so bad about not committing a crime that he unalived himself. Yeah, same thing. Oh, brother. All right. I'm just kind of waiting. Do you think that crypto and the stock market are diverging now? There actually has been a larger divergence of Bitcoin to the NASDAQ 100 since April. That's something you can measure, and they're still somewhat positively correlated, but the correlation strength is dropping. But it was dropping. It's actually now kind of picking back up. Like, it changes day to day based on the movement. The NASDAQ options are getting a nice bid since 945. Mag 7 popped, holding. Let's see if it can keep going here. S&P 500. I'm still looking for that Nike swoosh. I can't believe you guys bought XRP because of this. I cannot believe it. You guys are crazy. You're so crazy.
Stop, I couldn't hear.
You have a weapon on you?
No, I do not.
Okay.
I do not.
So,
I have one in my vehicle, but I do not have a weapon on me.
okay.
Okay.
Do me a favor. Take out your whatever fanny pack.
I'm sorry, I reached too fast. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Take out your
Sorry.
fanny pack.
Okay.
Put your phone down.
Okay.
Put
Okay.
your phone down.
Okay. I'll put the phone down. Okay.
Put the phone.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Put the phone down.
Put the fanny pack down.
Okay.
What's going on?
What's going on? This man inside of this house.
Actually, he's gonna check you real quick.
Absolutely.
Just the weapons.
I'm sorry. I have a. Okay. 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 Yep. No weapons. No
Where
weapons.
in the car is your gun?
It's in the back seat.
Back seat?
Yep.
Is anybody else in the car?
Yes, there's somebody in the
Who's in the car?
car.
Who?
What's that?
Who's in your car?
Who's in my car?
Yes.
Okay. Let's.
Who's in your car?
Who's in my car?
Who's in your truck, sir?
Cassie is in my car. Cassie's in my
All
truck.
right, Cassie.
Cassie's in my truck. My wife knows that we're here, by the way. She knows we came to do this. But my wife is aware. So we're live on YouTube right now.
Okay.
We've got about 2,500 people watching. So Cassie is a girl I had an affair with. She's involved in the situation with me and this guy here. My wife knows. We were just at my daughter's tennis match. Cassie and I have came over here because this man is
Step over
extorting me.
Step over here. Step over here.
He's death threatening me.
Step over here.
He stole my Lamborghini. My Lamborghini is in his garage right now. In his garage.
All right, get over here.
Okay? Absolutely.
I think I might buy XRP. Before watching that, I didn't really understand like the overall thought of what you guys were doing, but I kind of see it, you know? I think the good mark of any highly successful trader is to be able to admit when you're wrong and take in new information and adapt as the time calls for it. And this might be one of those humble burgers for me right now. Honestly, as of 10 a.m. July 11th, I was against it. As of 10:05 on July 11th, I kind of see what you guys are saying. I kind of see what you guys are saying, you know? Hey, and like I'm man enough to admit that sometimes you have to take in new information, and that's what I should be doing. And based on this new information, I understand where you guys are coming from. I see it. I see it. I see the vision. And I guess I should just apologize because I've said some really mean things to XRP supporters in here. And am I going to take them all back? No, obviously no. I have too much of an ego and hubris for that. But moving forward, I can appreciate a bit of the genius. I can appreciate a bit of the genius. All right. So for the NASDAQ, good news, bad news. There's not many buyers, but there's also not many sellers. I don't know what you guys want first, but that's kind of where we're at. Good news, bad news is they're trying to dump it on you at 76, 77. All right, so aggressive selling from 9:30. It hit this buy side liquidity at 60, which I called out in front of your faces. We popped, a little bit of a pullback, and now we're in a big consolidation with a lot of people. They are eager Edgars to get out at 23,000 flat. Big technical level, big psychological level. But before we even get there, you have a lot. They're eager beavers, man, trying to get out at 75, 76, somewhere right here. Does that mean you should be buying at this point? Probably fucking not, dude. You should probably wait till that liquidity gets absorbed and you kind of see, all right, are the bulls still there? You don't want to be the sucker, especially on a sim account, buying right at where a lot of people are trying to dump. If we take that out, if you see some green bubbles, take it out, pull back, more green bubbles. Yeah, totally understand. But if you're sitting there thinking to yourself, should I be buying right now? Dude, we just got rejected at a lot a lot of sell side liquidity. If you want to have an arbitrary buy order and put it in at 25, maybe you get lucky and bounces off of it. It's at this recent low. It's not the craziest idea. Or you could be patient, wait to see if it takes it out, and then on the recovery, get back in long. But right now, just see how it was like clear selling, clear buying, and now we're going flat. Just wait for the neutral aspect to play out. You don't know who's going to win. I don't know who's going to win. You don't know who's going to win. Patience, patience, patience. Just fucking wait. We don't need to over-engineer this thing. Oh, Bitcoin. I wanted to see 120. So the SPY is struggling at the intraday high. Wait, was there a 10 a.m. report? Profit. Where's Profit? Profit's always he's always the guy who gets the information the fastest. Profit. What was do we get anything on the 10 a.m. reports? I'm sure someone had a report on this. Where are we at? Where did Michigan come out with numbers? Where is it? Profit's not here today? Demerit. Remind me he gets a demerit on Monday. Remind me that he definitely 100% gets a demerit. Is it maybe reported by investing.com? No, maybe there was nothing. I guess nothing of like massive influence at 10 a.m. Okay, whatever. There's nothing big scheduled. We're all just kind of like awkwardly waiting to see what comes out of when is this? Oh, that's an ad. Sorry, I got confused for a second there. Nothing real scheduled, nothing like massively scheduled that we're like, oh, like what's happening? Damn, that was a good long at 55. Is that going to be a good long now at 10:10? What's the risk? The big guys they're not selling as aggressively as they were, but it is a slight downtick. Doesn't necessarily give me the best vibes. Mag 7, SPY. 60, 45, 15-point risk. That would put me $100 in the hole if I'm wrong. $100 in the hole if I happen to be wrong on this. Am I willing to risk that? Yes, no, maybe so. We see some buyers stepping in. Light selling. Weak sellers right there. 25. Something about it tells me I need a bit more patience. Maybe I'm wrong on this, but I was about to buy. I'm getting a spidey sense here that this is not the time for old Mateo to execute. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm going to look back at this and be like, yo, Mateo, what the fuck were you doing? But we consolidated. We got a pop. There wasn't much of a follow through. I'm seeing all of this junk. I don't think this is the time for me to strike. I'm not really... See, the SPY is still sideways. The Mag 7 is picking up. The Nasdaq is up slightly, but more so sideways. I'm thinking I just need to chill still for a second. Maybe wait for the next inversion. Like that was... Like obviously at 46, you had a flip. 55, you had a flip. 10-10. And all of those ended up being nice. Like I said, I guess I could have taken this one. But I'm really just... I didn't want to be the person buying and then it just gets smacked right away. Like, I don't know how much this selling is going to get absorbed. So I'm kind of attempting to be patient and just wait to see how this one plays out. Actually, speaking of that, I should probably turn off Skynet. All right, turning off Skynet. Skynet did well for me today, made about 5K. Skynet, I appreciate your efforts, but we're going to do a little bit of manual driving from here. A little bit of a manual driving. Yeah, see? I want to see how this plays out. Because, like, knowing my luck, it goes up, smash, goes up, smash. So, like, I kind of want to see what the pullback is, and then on the next pullback at this liquidity zone or this one, my base anticipation, I'm anticipating a smack of some size, and ideally I'll be able to target the base of that smack and go long there and then really ride it. And just, I didn't want to go in here because, like, what if the pullback's more than even where I got in? Like, maybe it's not, maybe it's a shallow pullback, but it's more of that's uncontrollable for me. So I just don't know. So really watch 80, 85, 86, 95, 3,000. There's a lot of passive sellers. There's a lot of profit takers right here. Profit takers at 80, 85, and a lot of profit takers at 3,000. A lot of profit takers. The bulls regaining control. Obviously, they have quite a bit to do relative to whatever was playing out from market close until now. But like I said, I kind of predicted, my base prediction was not the highest odds, but what if we get a Nike swoosh recovery? And I said it, rewind the show. If you don't believe me, it's out there. A grind up for a good portion of the day to get through the transition zone. Then we tag the red to green, we get smacked, we put in a higher base, then we push, and we tag the yesterday's high, which would also be the all-time high. That's kind of the exciting bull case. I would say that's the optimal bull case. I'm not saying it's the high likelihood one, because obviously we could get tripped up at any of these levels. If the market does not accept this transition zone and we shoot out of it, that's legitimately not good in the short term. But the case that I'm most hopeful, most optimistic for it playing out is exactly what I predicted. It's exactly what I pitched to you. The Nike swoosh, the grind in the transition zone, battle, rejection, higher low, and then that push maybe in the afternoon heading into the weekend of a fresh all-time high. Bitcoin at 118, Nvidia's climbing. All right, looks like we are about to be battling it out. All right, we're still trying to take out this liquidity. So I'm just waiting on this. It would have been one thing if I was earlier to it. But alas, I wasn't. And I don't want to front run this because there's just too many people trying to get out. I don't want to be the guy who's buying at the intraday high when so many people are trying to sell. Now, on the flip side, if you're like, well, hang on, I want to ride it to 84 to 3,000. All right, it's not the craziest idea. Like, you're taking on a bit more risk than I think is appropriate. But also, I do like very much admit there's a high odds play that we at least hit 3,000. So even if you want to front run it at 999, like front run exiting like the liquidity, that's completely fair. Completely fair. All right, so as we're waiting to see if this either does or doesn't play out, remember today is a Payday Friday giveaway. Do not forget to sign up. Shout out to Vanquish. They are the partner of today's show. Crushed it there already. Made some good money. You can save 90% off their 10K plans. The 10K plans are $100, as in you save $90, as in you could get rocking with these for only $10. That is dirt cheap. This is the final day they are running it. I'm imploring you to check it out. Pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. But on top of that, we're also giving away 3 of those accounts and $150 of cold hard cash. In real time, we'll pick someone off of YouTube. In real time, we'll pick someone off of Rumble. And then also, if you want, you could throw your hat into the arena now on locals. And all you have to do is do what these other 67 people have already done. Like I said, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. My mom will drop the link in chat. It's just on locals, and I just need a way to reach out to you. So if you're the winner, I can give you the cash and whatnot, or the accounts and all that. I just literally need a way to reach out to you. Please do not put in multiple comments or duplicate entries. If we find out, you will obviously be disqualified. So we're going to get rocking with that in a little bit. Nvidia is looking good. SPY is going up. All right, I'm going to set an alert on the red to green move on the Qs. That might offer a bit of resistance. And even though we're far away, I'm going to set one on the SPY as well, just so I have it. But yeah, the Qs are making a move. Remember, this white horizontal line is the closing value. So red to green, that is a common target for a lot of traders out there. Tesla's putting in some work. Microsoft's break even. Palantir's putting in work. Nvidia's putting in work. You have MicroStrategy up nicely. I would just love for Bitcoin to rip to 120. That would make my day. AMC is squeezing according to Rocco. Rocco, I guarantee you it's not. I would bet any amount of money it is not. AMC is a trash company run by a trash CEO with a trash board, and the people who are currently supporting it are trash people. It's trash across the board. If anything, your argument on AMC is better for waste management. Trash stock, trash company, trash vision, trash CEO, trash board, and trash retail supporters. That's it. All of it's trash. There's not even generally I try to be a bit more optimistic and be like, hey, the market's like 50-50. Like maybe there's a bit of a silver lining. There's no silver lining. Absolutely no silver lining whatsoever. What is this? I want to limit my exposure to Mag 7. SoFi killing it. SoFi's been doing well, especially really ever since Trump got elected. Does BitBoy support AMC? I don't think he is even in the world of... Well, right now he's literally in prison, so I think he has bigger concerns on his mind. Bigger concerns on his mind than what's going on in the market. The company that made me rich is trash. I lost money on AMC, and I'm definitely not rich. So, but also, even if it did, like, let's just... your statement is obviously not factual because I lost $750,000 on AMC. But if it were true, why would it matter? Like, that's like saying at one point, just because something's good at one point in time, you have to forever love it. So let's say like you're betting on the NFL, and at one point in time, it was a smart bet to bet on the Patriots winning the Super Bowl because they were arguably the best team for a bit there. They had a dynasty. But things go through cycles of success and failure. So at one point in time, you could have argued that the Patriots were the best team. But then if you were to argue that now, you're like, well, they were the best team at one point, so how could you argue they're not the best team now? Like, what a fucking idiotic statement. Like, as if things don't change in life, as if there's not a new set of information, new pieces of information that you should consider and evaluate and always, like, redo your opinion on it. Like, I don't get it. You're telling me that you've never had a friend who's done a heinous thing in the past that you now have forgiven, or vice versa, a friend that was a best buddy, awesome, and then they did something heinous and you're like, oh, wow, you're actually a piece of shit. It's funny. You hear this a lot from dipshits in the AMC world of, because you had an opinion and a thought at one point in time, they act as if you should be married to that thought and opinion forever. You had $750,000 in a stock and you didn't take profits? Yeah. And hey, I'll tell you this. If you are ever in the position, which you're not going to be because you're a little bit too stupid, that you're ever up $750,000, you then could talk to me about it. But the point is I've obviously done something that you've never achieved. So I guess when you get there, when you get into the big leagues, kid, we could have a conversation. But once again, this is just people in the bleachers with their thoughts and their opinions. I've gone up. If you think that's crazy, I've actually fumbled $1 million trading futures. The crazy thing is you couldn't, like, it doesn't even stop there of the amount of money that I fumbled. That one for sure. Futures, $1 million. I had 35 Bitcoin at $200 each, so that's multiple millions fumbled right there. Dude, we could have a multi-hour breakdown of the amount of millions of dollars that I could have had, but once again, hindsight bias is 2020. Like, what the fuck? Not hard to realize that there's been many instances of me losing a lot of money. And those are just the first three that come to my mind. I'm sure I could keep going and going and going. I think I pissed away 75K on Hex, maybe 50K on Hex. That was another high 5-figure mistake. like literally we could just sit here for hours and go on and on and on. All right. Let's see how hard this rejection is. Let's see how hard this direction is. All right, we're going into it. Decent amount of buying, a little bit of consolidation, that nice push into it. People are getting a little bit scared. Little bit scared. We have some selling. Some people are hitting the market sells. They're front running this. But is there enough aggressive buying? Matt has fumbled 2 million and still more profitable than keyboard warriors. Oh, honestly, I appreciate that. That's very kind. But you could argue that. I mean, in my career, I've probably fumbled at least. It's probably pushing somewhere between 5 and 10 million. So, like, very honestly, between 5 and 10 million, had I played things slightly different over those succession of times, probably 5 to 10. And then if you're arguing, but if you played it optimally, probably 20 to 25 million, somewhere in that, like between just whatever, penny stocks, crypto, futures, options, this, that, the other thing. If I played things perfectly, which no one's going to play it perfectly, it's probably pushing 20 mil. And if I played it decently, it's probably pushing like, I don't know, we'll cut it in half, call like 7.5 mil. Yeah. It is. I'm not going to hide from it. That's just like literally how it's played out. It's just, it is what it is. It is what it is. The older I get, the more pressure I feel, and I just get more aggressive, not less. Is that common? Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right. We have some orders getting filled here now. We did knock away some of that sell side liquidity. Some of those profit takers actually got filled. The bubbles mean they literally got filled. We still have some to go right above it. And then there's another chunk up here around like maybe 3,012, something like that. But we are absorbing some of that right now. Look at that. Look at, oh, NVIDIA. Oh, NVIDIA. And then for those of you in the audience, am I in NVIDIA? Of course I am. I'm up 25 racks on that one. Well, 24.6 racks, half of which is today. Same thing. I got into NVIDIA the same time I got into the Bitcoin play. So up 152% on that play. And then also up, how is this play going? This is coming down slightly, but up 245. So on my Bitcoin play, 2x leverage ETF, BITX up about 38,000. On NVIDIA, up about 25,000. So 40, 65, 63 technically between the two of them. I'm optimistic for more. Why not? When in Rome. Soxel. I'm in Soxel too, actually, which I was getting my ass kicked on that. I'm down 24%. I'm down about 2K on that one. It's actually lost me money today. Where are we at? I'm in the SPY. I'm in the Qs. Those are up. Those are looking good. Where are the Qs at? 550. Okay, those are in the money. I'm in another batch of SPY and Qs. They're down as of now, but they're fresh plays, so they need to cook a little bit more. Okay. Not bad. My 1 day unrealized gain is $37,000. So that's just from yesterday's close to right now up 37 1 day gain. But yeah, no, have at it. Yeah, try to tell me about not trading well. That it almost makes sense. Honestly, it makes sense if you don't think about it. It makes sense if you give it no thought whatsoever. All right, I did turn off Skynet, which is what I wanted to do. And I also, the market is viciously battling it out right here. Sell side liquidity at 3,000. We took out some at 3,005. This took it out. A little bit of a hit. The next big one is going to be just below 3015. This might be like 3014-ish. 3000, yeah, it looks, I don't know, 3013, 14. That's the next location people are attempting to sell right there. I wouldn't mind a bit of a dip and playing it up into that level, but I need to find a dip that makes it worth it, and I would like it better if I could play it off some buy-side liquidity, because I'm not seeing much liquidity all the way until down here at 925, so I don't necessarily want to get caught with my pants down on this one. But this is right here, what we're seeing is exactly what I talked about. Of like, I don't want to run up and then it gets smacked and I'm still in. It would have been one thing exactly like I told you, if you guys got out at like 2,999, front run their liquidity, lock it in, wait for the dip, and then if the dip starts to pop, okay, but even this 10, 15, what are people doing here? What are people doing here? Selling, selling, selling now. Selling, selling, selling now. All right, we are also going to do this Payday Friday pretty soon. So, we have some buyers coming in at 80. We have some buyers coming in at 80. Oh, a little bit of a pop. We have some people fighting back. All right, let's take a quick look at the flow. NASDAQ pop, a little bit of a pullback right now. Mag 7 options flow very strong all the way up till 1028, a little bit of a pullback. Same thing with this buy. So everything pumping pretty strong until 1028, 1029. Little bit of a breather right now. Little bit of a mini breather. The Qs have yet to touch. They've yet to actually do the red to green move, 555.45, and the SPY has more distance to go, actually all the way up to 625.82. NVIDIA is looking good. MSTR is looking good as well. Tesla, Palantir, NVIDIA, Coin. How's Coin looking? Coin was looking well. Got hit. All right, we'll throw up MSTR. It is looking kind of interesting. All right.
Order filled.
All right, this is my last trade of the day.
Order submitted.
My goal here is I waited for a dip, and then I'm hoping that this recovery is just a little short term. Obviously, I'm not. The dip could keep dipping. This could be a lower high, but I was just waiting for some form of selling to come in. I didn't want to chase the high. And then my target is basically to front run these sellers at, I want to say seemingly like either 13 or 14. It's not 15. I don't exactly know what level they're trying to get out at. I don't know exactly. So anyway, I just put mine at 12 to try to front run these guys. So trying to trade with the overall trend, try to be patient and wait for some form of a pullback. On the 1 minute, it's a little bit of a valley setup. So I have well-defined risk. I have a well-defined target, and the die are in the air. Like that's, and if this one hits, yeah, that'll be my final trade of the day. And Skynet went 2 for 2, and this will be 1 for 1 manual trade. So ideally 3 for 3 on the day, and then we just kind of close her up. Easy peasies. Easy peasies. Easy peasies. All right. And on that note, let's start with this Payday Friday giveaway. So if you haven't already entered on locals, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video, do just what these other 80 people have done. I'll come to this last. So yes, you're going to have time to still do it. But I literally just need you to drop a way to contact you. So if you're the winner of the cash or the accounts, I have like a way obviously to reach out to you. I do want to let you know that if you're doing this, it is sponsored by Vanquish. So I'm not saying you have to buy an account, but you should at least be registered on the website. You have to be registered on the website to be able to get the code for Vanquish. If you don't have an account, they're not going to have anyone to send the code to. So at minimum, I'm not telling everyone watching right now that you have to buy a Vanquish account, but if you're entering in this, you should at least definitely create an account, not necessarily buying an account yet, but at least like do your whatever login credentials and all that good jazz. All that good jazz. All right. And on that, we'll pick someone from YouTube. Dashboard giveaways. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Random number next. Everyone can do it, even the mods. It'll be 1 to 100 inclusive. Done. All right, we're ripping it. Whoever does it is going to be the person. Whoever figures out the number, you will be the person. Who is it? It's only 1 to 100. How are you guys not getting this? There's not that many numbers, and there's 1,300 of you in here. It's literally there's 200 guesses. Statistically, you guys are breaking the game. Adolfo, that's a sick name. Adolfo, do not leave chat. If you are the winner, we're going to need your information. Do not leave chat. If you win and we can't track you down, we're just going to have to double up the prize next week. Do not leave YouTube chat. All right, we have that. All right. What do we have here? Let's pause this for one quick second. Random number generator. 10 to 25. 11. 11. Okay, we are going for 11 comments past Kathy K. 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Roid Rage. Dude, you have a high hit rate. Probably just because you're such an angry individual. Roid Rage. All right, so we have Adolfo, and Roid Rage. All right, we got 2 of our 5. We have 2 of our 5, and then let's pick our locals people. Our locals people, we have 86. 86. All right, we don't need that. All right, so between 1 and 86. Hang on. Your boy might be making some money. Go. Let's go for 3 for 3 on the day. We'll call it a day. Not a bad day. Let's go. Go. We got some buyers coming in. Come on, just pop it up. Uh-oh, some people are trying to sell at 10. My sitting order is just below this block. Just below that block. Come on. Rip it, brother. These people are getting filled back. It got knocked back down to 3,000. Come on. Maybe this is one of those things like out of sight, out of mind. Maybe like, what's the saying? A watch pot doesn't boil or something like that. Maybe this is one of those things that if I just don't pay, it's kind of like when you're going after a girl, like you just the more you don't try, the better it is type of a thing. Maybe, just maybe that's what I need to be doing. Or maybe I should pay attention so I don't blow out my account. There's 2 schools of thought on this particular one. I could also put a stop to break even and just risk nothing. Oh, brother. All right. 11 is the first one. No. 11 was the comment. So 1 to 86 generate 48. Okay. 17. All right. And then one more. 67. So 17, 48, and 67. All right, where are we? All right, the first one was 17, a 1, a 2, a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Fuzzy, a fan favorite. All right, Fuzzy. Next one is 48. There's 25 per page. So we'll just go down to the bottom of this second page because this is 50, 49, 48. Maverick. All right. And then 67. 50. All right. So that makes this one 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67. Magnitude. We'll just call you Mag. So we have Adolfo from YouTube, Roid Rage from Rumble, Fuzzy, Mav, and Mag, all from locals. We have our competitors. Very quickly, here's a look at the flow. The SPY popped flat, but overall up. Mag 7 kind of popped a little bit more of a hit than I would like to see, but we'll see what's going on there in a second. Oh, a perfect Dude, seriously, a perfect tag of that red to green move, and I just didn't get my fill. That's a wee bit of a bummer. A wee bit of a bummer. But hey, it happens. You can't cry over spilled milk. All right. Let's get the game rocking, folks. Obviously, place your bets. Place your bets. Who do you think's gonna win? Who do you think has, like, they got enough rest, they did enough preparation, they watched all the film, like, it just, who do you think's really going to take it? Your competitors, once again, representing the red land of YouTube is Adolfo. The green land of Rumble is Roid Rage. Representing the black land of locals is Fuzzy, Mav, and Mag. Who do you think, like, really prepped for this? Who do you think got their stretches in, drank their electrolytes, got enough just generic study, put in the time to watch all the film of their competitors? All right. It looks like everyone's kind of voting for their home turf. No, YouTube, you're splitting it up a little bit. YouTube's splitting it up a little bit. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Hopefully you guys can see that. Hopefully you guys. All right, cool. We don't need this. Continue. Play. Race. Random map. We are playing on Space Chasers. Space Chasers. All right, let's get all of our people. All right. Adolfo. Roid Rage. We have Fuzzy Wuzzy Was a Bear. We have Mav. And we have Magnitude. Mav and Mag. All right, we got these people. All right, we have that. Good. We are on bots. Great. All right, let's get this going, folks. Let's get this going. And I'm told we also have a new unreleased, or now released, but we have a new beat for y'all. A new beat for y'all. Let's see if we could get this up and rocking. Remember, all the music you guys hear, it is on Tendies and Tunes. We give it away from free. This is Crimson Kohrs, the chart daddy. That will be the background beat to one of the fastest races you're going to see this entire year. These are 5 of the fastest competitors known to man. Folks, children, ladies, gentlemen, everything else, do not blink, because if you do, you will probably miss the entire race. We have 5 of the fastest and furious racers that the Marble League has ever seen, and this is not just for $150 of cold hard cash, but this is for pure, unadulterated bragging rights. Keep that in mind. Obviously, throw down your bets, cheer on your favorite racer, and we are going in 3, 2, 1. Oh, there we go. That's a beat. That is a beat. Who's going to get the first drop? Who's going to get the first drop? Everyone's circling. Looks like Mav did, followed by Roid Rage. Roid Rage now leading, taking the right path, followed by Mav, Mag, Fuzzy, and Adolfo. All competitors opting for the right path, but who's going to make it through the twisty turny, followed by the speed up? Mag catching, Adolfo catching back up. Mag missing the speed up. Mag missing the speed up. It is a Mag versus Adolfo type of a race. It is distant to third, but Roid Rage taking the underpath. We have not seen that in many years of competition. The old ancient beneath path. Everyone's ripping it, and we're going into whatever the hell this is. Mag makes it through. Adolfo gets us slightly caught up, allowing Fuzzy to get into the silver medal place. But will Roid Rage's secondary path option pay off? Mag seemingly forgetting. And now they are back on the same track. Currently in second is Fuzzy. Fuzzy just narrowly edging out Roid Rage. Mag leading it, but will he survive? Because this is treacherous. Fuzzy opting to completely miss those landmines. Will he be able to hold on the lead? This is a close one, folks. It's anyone's race at this point. Everyone's getting Mav and Mag. Who's going to catch the speed up? Who's going to get through this turnstile? Fuzzy, will he hold on? Will he catch the speed up? Yes, he does. Will he survive? Eldolfo's right on his tail. Eldolfo versus Fuzzy. Who gets the drop? Fuzzy wins the race. Eldolfo second. Roid Rage third. Mag coming in fourth. And Mav, not even knowing he's in a race. Not even knowing he was in a race. Wow. My insurance company is going to be very happy to hear that no one lost their life on this particular race. But massive congrats to Fuzzy. Fuzzy, the winner, kept us on the edges of our seat to the very, very final moment. Well-deserved, Fuzzy. Obviously, I'll be reaching out to you, but also special shout out to Mav and Mag for getting that extra account from Vanquish. Fuzzy, Mav, and Mag, make sure you all at least have a user account on Vanquish so we can give you, credit you that, obviously the free credit for the account, the 10K account. And then also, folks, do not forget that you can get if you use the code GOONIE, GOONIE, you're going to get 90% off the 10K options account. So make sure you use that code GOONIE. Make sure to click apply or it will not work. And we crushed it. How is my account looking over here? Up about 3.3K. Not going to complain. Not going to complain in the slightest. Bringing very quickly our attention back to the options flow. You have the Mag 7 taking a little bit of a hit, but a bit of a pop in price. And then you have same thing in the NASDAQ, actually. A little bit of a mismatch there. And then you have the SPY kind of taking a chill pill here at 1045. The big players have stopped selling. As of 10:10, we selling, break, a little bit more selling. Since then, neutral. They're not necessarily buying, so it's not as bullish as it could be, but they at least stopped with the selling. Obviously, something to consider. The other thing we could check out is what's this real time looking like? I guess 2300 just became too hot to handle. I guess 23,000, not 100, excuse me, just became a little bit too hot to handle. Because you could see we ran into a clear amount of selling. So this is pretty much the picture on the day. So from the get-go, here, can I make this a little bit cleaner just to show you the overall session? All right, so here's what we've had. Out of the gate, a little bit of a pop. That was met by quite a bit of selling. Then we had quite a bit of buying. Then we had a stall out period, followed by buying. And now we are in another, like we almost got going, but the sellers, there just wasn't, like the sellers kind of overwhelmed the buyers here at that break of 23,000, and now it's run into a bit more of selling. So the question is, where is the base going to be made? Are the buyers going to step in? Will this just become sellers galore? But this level, not only was it this key level at 23,000, big psychological level in the futures market, from the equities market perspective, it was a perfect tap and crap of the closing value. The red to green test obviously failed. And people are just going to be wondering, all right, what's the next? How deep is this pullback? NVIDIA is still going. MicroStrategy is looking good. Bitcoin's showing that 18,000 BITX. What else do we have? Coin is giving some up. NVIDIA is looking great. Palantir maybe wants to get going. Tesla was looking good. Past half hour, not so much. Microsoft is gearing up. Apple was looking good, giving a bit back. But the fact that NVIDIA is looking this hungry, the fact that Avago could be looking better. Meta actually kind of taking a noteworthy hit today. But anyway, back to what I was trying to say. The fact that NVIDIA and Microsoft are looking good. Remember, this is the world's number 1 and number 2 company. When the number 1 and 2 company are looking this good, it makes me optimistic. It really does. Obviously, there's other sectors that could completely overwhelm these, but just generically in terms of like our confidence, like the fact that from 9:30 till now, the number 1 stock and the number 2 stock have been pumping makes me confident. So obviously anything can change on a moment's notice. I mean, you don't know if a report's going to come out. You don't know if Trump is going to say this, that, or the other thing. You just don't know. But what I can tell you, what I can definitely tell you, is this makes me a little bit more optimistic than pessimistic. A little bit more optimistic. All right, just because so many of you guys have been talking about it, where the hell is Ripple? Ripple up 10%. Maybe going for its range breakout. It did get a technical breakout here at 266. The next technical level is $3 flat. That's obviously a big psychological level. Coming off of a higher low, the structure is bullish. You have a consolidation breakout in the bullish favor off of higher lows. and you have about 18 cents to go to the next technical level, psychological level, and then obviously the all-time high at 340. That's bullish. Solana, same thing, higher low. Actually, Solana looking on a relative basis a bit weaker. It just hasn't gotten that first breakout yet, the way Ripple already has. But obviously, I would argue that Bitcoin's the most bullish looking because it's literally at the all-time high. Beautiful higher highs and higher lows. So opportunity across the board. I mean, and it's just not in crypto. Obviously, you have crypto related things. BITX, I would love this breakout at 72. MSTR, that's related. Coin, also looking phenomenal. Here, sorry, I'm on the weekly there. Let me go to the daily. BITX, nice gap up. Would love for this to start to rock above 68. MSTR, same thing. Cup handle, higher lows, breakout, looking for that follow through of 445. Nvidia, the world's biggest, most valuable company, becoming bigger and even more valuable literally as we speak. We should check in on that very quickly. We should check in on that one real quickly because I want to know what that next level is. So Nvidia's trading at 168. Where are the option players on old Nvidia here? Oh, that's a legit breakout. 165 is that big level. Yeah, there were a lot of calls here. Positive gamma too. They got murked. So 170 is apparently the next one. Minus. So they're playing the low 170. So getting, what I just did was I removed today's plays because today's an expiration. I look forward to this next one. 171, interesting. Minus monthly. So if you take out the monthly, we're losing a decent amount of positive gamma. 170. 170, 172. All right, I need to set up some alerts because I don't know how confident I am on this push of it really exceeding 172. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up an alert at 169, LOL, 170, add alert, and then 171. I don't know if I want to overstay my welcome because I don't have that much time left on my expiration. And just seeing how this is getting set up, I'm not seeing a slew of bets come in higher than 170. And that's also the bottom of this gamma, 172. If it gets into this zone, I learned my lesson on Netflix of trying to overstay my welcome. If we get into this zone, obviously I have stock that I'm going to hold. I'm not touching my stock. I'm talking about my options on it, which expire relatively soon. So I want to pay attention to that area. I want to pay attention very much to that area. All right, where are we at? 5 minutes bullish, 10 minutes bullish, 30-minute trying to push bullish. We're right at that test zone on ES. Looking at the NASDAQ, 5 minutes bullish, 10 minutes bullish, 30 minutes bullish, 4 hour is bullish. Okay. Okie dokie artichokes. Okie dokie artichokes. All right, let's set up some of these alerts. We want to know some breakouts, breakdowns. We have all that. We are just in this transition zone. I'm happy that we got pushed into it. We're holding 250. Obviously, starting since 1037, lower highs, lower lows. I'd prefer that we just end up having a higher low and this bounces relatively quickly. I would like to see this test of 6275. Key open interest level, also the top of the transition zone. When I say the transition zone, I'm looking at the 0 DTE, gamma, and delta. And that just gives us somewhat of a mathematical idea of how market makers are going to have to react to people either creating or closing positions. Are they going to be supportive, not supportive, that type of a thing? And it kind of comes back to this generic argument of that's 6280, 6255, 50. So we definitely have support here from a gamma perspective. And then there's positive gamma nodes above at 6280 and 6300. What's the net OI look like right now? There's a call credit spread above 6,300 and a put credit spread below 6,200. This is the size 5.5 thousand. We've seen bigger for sure, but that's 6.5, 6.7. Why are they not the same size? Anyway, they're somewhere between 5 and 6,000 in size. Call credit spread and then a put credit spread. An iron condor basically betting that we end the day somewhere in between 6,300 and 6,200. Probably a pretty freaking good bet based on really a lot of the other setup that we're currently seeing. Probably a pretty freaking good bet. I don't like what just happened as we're heading into the turn of the hour. Not the biggest fan of that. The Mag 7 has not had call buyers really stepping in ever since 1036. Clearly just kind of coming off. That is interesting. And even the SPY. We just have not found that bottom. There was a couple instances where like 1042, are we going to bounce? 1047, are we going to bounce? Just not quite finding its bottom yet. I hope it doesn't do a full trip. My base case is looking for some sort of higher low to be put in. Like I just pointed out to you, there is positive gamma at 55 and 50. So a bounce off of one of these two levels is not the most insane, unheard of thing. But you never know. Maybe if the buyers just don't come in, they don't come in. I would very much prefer that we hold this transition area. I don't want to kicked back out of it to the south side. That would be no bueno in terms of market sentiment and also literally just for my own positions. But bullish. I'm looking for this 30-minute to hold right here on ES 6,300. I'm hoping people react to that because ES 6,300, important level. It's just above 50. I'm hoping this is the point that buyers are like, okay, we're buying at a key level. We're going to see if it bounces off of it. Not the most insane thesis I've ever heard, you know? Not the most insane thesis. What do we have here? All right. I want the 10-minute to completely revert. Take out whatever this is, 6,303. That'd make me feel better about life. And then on NQ, what is this one? NQ, 22,987. That would also make me feel better about life. I want to see this 10-minute reversal. I want to see a 10-minute reversal. Gallio G. Gallio G. Can we bounce out of here? From a structural standpoint, you just want to watch this downsloping trend line. Oops. Right where the SPY's at right now. It's just kind of a steep one. We've just been, a little bit past 1030. We had some profit takers, and to be fair, some bears actually stepped in like legitimately. So we're going to see how this sets up. We're going to see how this one sets up. Well, that doesn't, that was a clear. Okay, so we're just coming back up to this level that we saw a little bit earlier today, just past the change of the hour. We try to get going. You could see weak aggressive buying turned into strong aggressive selling. Consolidated. Bears came in, hit him with that 1, 2, 3 combo punch and got us right back to this previous consolidation zone where there was quite a bit of just like bullshit trading. Obviously, we have support at 50. Clear support at 50. SPX crossing transition line. Why am I not getting audio feedback? Where? Okay. SPX is maybe trend line breakout. If you have a bullish bias on the day, it is not the most insane trade to go long, and you have either risk at 55, this recent dip, or you could use like any of these previous lows. My point is you at least have well-defined risk. Right here, right here, right here. Vanquish trader. Where are we at? Is this going to populate? 10, market, confirm and send, create order. I just got to fill at 670, close with a single order. 670, we'll do 770. We'll go for a buck on this to see if it actually has any follow through. So I just got some SPX calls at the money, 0 DTE, literally just seeing if we get a little, even a pop back up to 65. I should have my fill even on a half that distance pop. Yeah. Average fill 670. I have a sitting order to get out at 770. I have 10 of them, so that would be a return of $1,000 if we get follow through. It's a big if. I am not clairvoyant. I don't know how this stuff is going to go, but I am excited that we're going to maybe a little dip into the EMA cloud and a bounce right back out. NQ has a bit more to go. That's an inside bar. Hopefully the inside bar breaks to the upside. That's another statistical advantage. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. All right. What time is it? It is 11. Folks, that is it for me. Like I said, your boy has some professional business meetings to take because I'm a business professional. That's what I have for you. Happy Friday, TGIF, Payday Friday. We're a little bit off from all-time highs. Obviously, the overnight session, not so exciting, but at least we can all rejoice in the all-time highs of Bitcoin. I hope you're making a lot of money. I hope you make even more money. I hope you have a great weekend, hang out with friends, family, loved ones, catch some sun, drink a lot of cervezas, and then I hope to see you guys back on Monday for another live show. But between now and then, I will put out another video on Sunday. So look for that video on Sunday, streaming once again on Monday. Obviously, today, respect your risk. Trade with the trend, stick to your system, don't oversize. All that good stuff is what's going to keep you alive. I appreciate all the good vibes. Shout out to everyone who participated in today's Payday Friday giveaway. Hey, all the well wishes in the world. I hope you make more money than you could possibly imagine, and I will catch you guys later. I appreciate all the love. I appreciate all the good vibes. Best of luck. Peace.